I use Target K-Flex flights, but the problem with the Target K-Flex flights is there's not a great deal of options when it comes to colours. You've got your black, your white, your clear, you've got your red, green and blue, but the problem with the red, green and blue is that they're translucent, and I'm not a big fan of translucent flights. I like a solid colour. So what if you wanted some other colours? I went onto YouTube and did some research and searched up how to dye plastics in the hope that I would find some information on how to do that and how to change the colour of my K-Flex flights. After scrolling past a weird thumbnail of Michael Van Gogh kissing Fallon Sherrock, I came across this video from RC Hobby Shed. And in this video, he showed exactly how to dye some plastics, so I thought I'd give it a go with the Target K-Flexes. And because he gave such great and useful information, I subscribed and hit the like button, which is exactly what you should do on the Darts Referee YouTube channel. If you enjoy this video, make sure that you hit the like and you hit the subscribe button. Anyway, let me show you exactly how you do this.
Hello and welcome to the Darts Referee cooking show. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a pan with some hot water in it and you're going to want to boil it. So I'll put that on. You're going to want your K-Flexes. I've gone for white ones. I don't know if any other colour will work. I think the best way of doing it is going to be to go for the white ones just because they're going to go the correct colour more often than not. And you're going to need some dye. This is the dye you need. What you need is RIT dye, and you need especially the synthetic version. So I'll leave a link in the description to the flights and the dyes and stuff. So if you want to go and check it out, go and buy it yourself, then it will all be in the description. So go and have a look. But we need the water to boil, and we need to put this in. Now, apparently you can use the non-synthetic version if there's a colour that you like, but someone told me, I was watching a tutorial video and someone said you've got to put vinegar in with the water. Now I've got no idea, so do with that information as you will, but this is what you're going to need, the synthetic one particularly, and yeah, let's boil the water and I'll show you what to do next. So the water needs to be just deep enough to put your flights in as well. You don't want to have your flights sticking out the top because it probably won't work as well. Just make sure that it's deep enough to make sure the flights are submerged. And you're also going to want like a fork or something as well, just to give it a little stir around. And also, just bear in mind, if you put anything plastic into this water, it will probably turn the plastic the colour you're going for. I'm going for a nice racing red, like a really bold red. So if you put anything in there that's plastic, it may well just dye it red. So be careful. Also, something else I want to test is whether they gain weight when you dye them. So a K-Flex is typically about 1.42 grams. Let's have a look at a few of the others. They should be about the same, 1.45, 1.46, 1.45, 1.43, and 1.43. So they're around between 1.42 and 1.46. So we'll bear that in mind. Okay, so once the water is boiling, you're going to want to take your dye and you're going to want to put enough dye in it that it's very dark. Like you can't see through the water. So let's just chuck some dye in and let's see how much that takes. So I would say about there is probably fine. I've only used maybe a third most. And then turn down the heat a bit because you don't want it to boil too much. Also, I'm going to put the extractor fan on. Okay, I've turned the heat right down. I don't want it boiling, I just want it hot. And I want it to stay hot. So we're going to get our fork, get that ready. And let me just show you quickly how quick these dye. So if I just dip it in for a few seconds, that is dyed. Like, look how fast that is. Right, let's start putting our flights in and then we'll give it a good old stir around. And you can see it's already like changing colour a bit. So I'm going to give these about 2 minutes. I'm just going to keep my eye on them. And then as soon as they're like a really dark red, as soon as they've got to the point where they're like the same colour as the dye, then we know we're in business and we know we can take them out. But we'll give that a few minutes in there. Keep stirring it around. I'm using a metal fork as well because I feel like a metal fork is not going to get dyed on as bad. But you can already see, look how different the colour's going already. Like, that's already almost dyed. So let's keep going. I gave it about 2 minutes when I did the last one, but I felt like I could have pulled it out at about a minute. I was surprised at how quickly this took. Like, you can already see, like, look how red that is already. That's already like so red. But I'm going to give it another couple of minutes, or another minute or so, not a couple of minutes. I'm just stirring it as well, just so that the flight doesn't like melt on the bottom of the pan, because obviously it's going to be really hot down there. And I don't want that to happen because otherwise you can't use them. So we are probably about there, I reckon. They look good. Right, another 30 seconds. Just to make sure that the dye is seeped in nicely. And we'll pull them out. Now, I don't know if this works with other flights. I don't know if this works with Condors, whatever, L-style, I have no idea. But it works with these. So I would imagine it will work with the other ones, but don't quote me on that one. Okay, they look very, very red. Right, let's pull them out. I'm going to pull them out, put them on some foil, because I feel like I don't really want to put dye everywhere. And then we're going to take the foil over to the sink, and we're going to rinse them off. And that should be it. I would like to get these out a little bit faster. I don't want anything bad to happen to the flights. I don't want them to start warping. I feel like if you boiled them for too long, they might start to warp. So you don't need much time, but they are working and they look great. They look really good. Okay, last flight. This is always the hardest one to get out. Okay, we've got the last flight out. We'll let them cool down and move that over there. We'll deal with that in a minute. But yeah, here we go. Here are the flights. They look very, very red. Right, let's take them over to the sink and let's give them a little bit of a rinse. Okay, right, let's turn the water on and let's get the flights over on the foil so we don't mess anything up, and we'll just dump them in. Put that in the bin unless you want to get dye everywhere. Okay, give them a good rinse, and there we have it. Simple as that. Red flights. I'm going to give these a quick wipe. Let's just grab some towels. Right, and on a wipe test as well, just to show that it's not ink on top of the like an ink layer. It is dyed plastic. We get a towel and we wipe it on the towel. There's no red coming off. So it has literally just dyed the plastic. There's no red coming off on the paper towel. So that is good news. Right, let's get these dried properly and then we'll weigh them and we'll see if the weight has changed. So the weight was between 1.42 grams and 1.46 grams. Now obviously if I try and weigh these when they're a little bit damp, they're going to be heavier. So we want to dry them off properly and then we'll see if the weight has changed at all. Okay, so these might still be a touch wet, but we'll weigh them anyway and see how we go. Look, also look, there's no warping on it. Like the one thing I was worried about would be that there might be a little bit of warping if there's like if there's heat added to them, but there's no like warping. So we're all good on the warping. And they look really good. They look nice and straight. Let's weigh them and let's see how much they weigh. So I've got two that are like properly dry. We'll try these out and we'll see. So if they're sort of like, if they're over like 1.5, then we know that we've put a little bit of weight on them. Let's see what they come out as. 1.42. 1.44. They've literally not changed. So no weight change whatsoever. Same flights. They're just red. So if you want to try this out, I'll leave a link in the description to everything that I have used. And yeah, pretty easy. It did not take long at all. It took like 2 minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes to set up. It's a 10-minute job. It's a very, very easy job. And it's done a really good job. Like you can see just how perfectly coloured they are. Amazing. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, leave a like on the video, and if you do try this out, tag me and let me know your little colour variants, because I think if you were to like hang them, you could do like half and then do the other half a different colour, or if you like put them in slowly, you could do a bit of a gradient on them. I think it'd be really cool, but I like my red ones. Let me know how you get on, and yeah, all the best. Thanks for watching today's video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.